Hello and good evening. It's me again, Joe Bags, and we're in for another. I think we're on part 6 now of our Final Fantasy XIV online cozy playthrough. Where we last left off, part 5. We were at the gates of Sastasha. We are going to one, do our first dungeon, and two, the Sastasha dungeon premise is we are investigating suspicious behavior of pirates in and around the cove and the cave that is Sastasha. There's been some suspicious behavior and movement in and around the cave and ships sailing around the exterior, the coast, and there's been some rumors of the some pirate groups dealing with the Sahagin, who are the fishback beast tribe, who have who use Leviathan as their god, and I guess there's some kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, desire to summon or to bring back Leviathan or something. We haven't quite gotten to that part yet, but the assumption is that, like, the Bahamut war with on the Cardinal Flats, that a couple of cutscenes have referenced to, there may be the ability to, we may have to fight, other large creatures or something. So I guess the idea is this is just an investigative mission to see what's going on. And I have a feeling we're going to get into some things and we're going to actually find something, because I wouldn't, spend us in here and be like, oh, everything's fine. So let's get queued up here. I'm wondering how long the queue for this would be. 7 minutes. Well, I would like to do my first quest with people, so we'll see if it's actually 7 minutes. We'll go out here and we'll do some things. Seems to be a fate over here, so we'll do that while we wait. So yeah, the story has been quite enjoyable. I've really enjoyed kind of starting out as a kind of this, unknown, lowly adventurer who brings themselves to the city, and there's enough help and enough interest around the city in getting this adventure some work to kind of prove themselves. But we're not like jumping into world saving or anything. We're going around a market, and we're making sure that the prices of the market are fair from all of the people selling things, and we're going to a farm for reformed pirates, and we're helping them out with that. And then along as we're doing these things, there's kind of these like there's kind of some conflict that's under the surface bubbling, that we're relatively unaware of, and will be presenting itself to us shortly, I imagine, because we've seen there's this robed character who keeps kind of stalking us in the shadows. We've been told that he's called an Asian, and he has a couple of times summoned some creatures in the middle of other conflicts, and kind of like taking the attention away from the conflict that we've been in. And it seems that he's kind of like testing us or gauging our strength, and trying to remove us. It seems that they are somewhat impressed with our abilities, strength, etc., and they want to do whatever they can, I guess, to keep us from continuing on this journey, because we appear to be some kind of an obstacle or a potential obstacle for whatever these people are planning. Because we've seen more than one, and they're in the cutscene of the three alliance leaders of Gridania, Ul'dah, and Limsa Lominsa. There were two of these robed creatures watching the battle. So there's multiple. So it appears like there's probably a group of them. And we will, I'm sure, figure out, what an Ascian is and what their primary goal is. And then the other piece that we're kind of battling with is we're dealing with the Garlean Empire, who, was part of this war that we have fought, and they seem to be some kind of the like colonizing threat, where through colonialism wants to take over the world, for lack of a better term. And their last big attempt was back during this back in the Cardinal Flats, and now that the previous ruler who was responsible for that has kind of grown older, he's lost interest in that. But there seems to be another leader of another legion named Gaius, I believe, and he seems to have kind of taken up that desire and taken the mantle, and being the one responsible for kind of doing that colonial invasion. So yeah, there's a lot going on, bubbling on the surface, and right now we kind of haven't seen any development of that, other than just kind of becoming aware of these things. And as we become more aware of these things, I'm sure we will start, developing those stories and becoming more involved in the storylines. But right now we're just, killing buffaloes and trying to level up our Arcanist, because I'm one level away from another class quest and developing that story. These things are massive. So we're at 6 minutes in this queue right now, and we have not popped yet. So hopefully the 7 minutes is relatively accurate, because it appears, if it's relatively accurate, we're, very close to this dungeon being ready. I do know that you can queue it with some kind of like AI based group, but I think that it's important to queue with people and kind of continue, kind of encourage and continue the encouragement of playing with people in an MMO. Because why play an MMO if you're not going to play with people? I guess if I was waiting for 30 minutes to do something, then I might just be like, okay, whatever, like I could have just done it. But I think playing with people is probably more fun. I would imagine it's probably quicker. On average, I'm sure, because I'm sure there's people that know how to play the game better than, the AI and how they're programmed. So let's Let's see how long it takes this queue to pop. We are still doing fates. I just unlocked this challenge log, and one of the challenges is to do 5 and 10 fates for money and experience reward. Never mind. 7 minutes. 8 minutes. Not too far off. Pretty good guesstimation from Square Enix on the amount of time for this queue to go. So let's check this out. So there's not nobody here. There seems to be creatures. Relatively large area, I would say. All right. The first thing we have found are bats. I don't appear to be getting experience. Violet Stark. That was pretty good. I popped a couple cooldowns here. Is there a DPS meter? Okay. Place is beautiful. I like the theming of the cave. The tank's name is Boop da Snoot. Love that. Why is he so little? Oh, he's one of those children characters. Races. We're getting money for killing things. Be nice if we could get experience for killing things. But maybe you just like get a big lump at the end. Couple more rounds of this. What's the elephant mean? What is that? I'm doing really well. I saved all my cooldowns. I popped said cooldowns. All right. Loot. Was this like a need? Yeah, there we go. Need, greed, pass. Pretty standard. Back, 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 back. What is that book? Why is it so cool? Damn, we burned him down quick, didn't we? Okay, so we get experience for killing bosses. A lot, actually. 6,300. That's more than the 2 fates that I did. Ooh. Crit. Mind. It looks really cool, though. We'll greet it. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same robe. And I'm a nice person. Can we open this? Oh, we got a key. Okay. I just got lucky. Does this guy have tattoos on his face? He does. Ah, the Serpent Reavers. I just use Ruin over and over and over again. All right, as we continue on our journey through the cave system, this has been fun. It's not difficult, but it is cool. I'm glad I played with players. Alright. I have more damage on my ruin now. I have to wait 5 more seconds, and then I can start using my boxes. Hopefully that they can do some damage. That stinks. It's such a long cast that a lot of these things are dying before you can even pop it off. Oh, that hurts the eyes. Okay. See the gate, so I know there's another boss coming. You sully our spawning ground, Shorewalker. Oh, it's a Sahagin. Are they all this big? What's this? Do I have to do this? Whoa, that was cool. I'm gonna do that again. Yay, victory music. Thank you. Accommodation. Boop the snoot. Clearly gets it. Lancer's arm from the depths. Player accommodation is a system whereby you can commend a party member who left a positive impression upon you during the course of duty. Ah, okay. We did it. Okay, now back to the drowning winch. I still don't like those people. bit of a little bit of immersion breaking. We did it. Aye, such a task was on the books. Was, mind. I'm afraid that ship has already sailed, friend. Ah, might you be the adventurer who accepted the job of investigated Sastasha? Why, yes. Already done. Humph. It would seem that ship has not only sailed, but now returns to harbor. None of the worse for his voyage. A pity. We dragged our boots too long on this one. No matter. The wheel will turn and our chance will come. You are right, of course. But there shall be no rest till we have attained our goal, lofty though it may be. Not a wink of sleep, great leader. Our aim, lest you wonder, is to perform such feats of heroism as will earn us a place in the songs of every alehouse in Eorzea. We mean to write a legend which will inspire adventurers as yet unborn to follow our shining example. Do you have such a goal? Large or small, it matters not. Only have a star to reach for, and you will reach higher. Purpose can sustain you through times of hardship. Keep your eye on the prize, and all obstacles will overcome in time. You would not think to stride into the battle unclad, would you? Well, goals as arms and armor. Well, goals are as arms and armor for the spirit. I wish you fortune in your endeavors, milady. Milady? Malagi? Back then, are you? With all your limbs. And a tale to tell, I'll wager. Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. Sahag and fishbacks. And there I was thinking you'd only have to crack a pirate skull or 3. 7 hells. You turn your back for 5 bloody minutes, and it's the scaly bastards who've shut up shop on your bleeding doorstep. Still, sounds like you left him in pieces. So I don't suppose he'll be carrying out whatever mischief they was planning, unless they was planning on feeding themselves to the fauna of Sastasha, of course. Any road, all's well that ends well. Thank you for shedding some light on this mystery. I knew you'd get the job done, lass. You always do. Now, I bet you're dying for a rest. But just in case you're not, I was wondering if you might be interested in taking on another job. It just so happens that I've had a request from our sister guild in Gridania, see? Seems the forest folk are in need of an adventurer who can get things done. For them to ask for help like this, you can bet the task won't be no skip through a sunny glade. But after the way you dealt with the fishback infestation, I doubt it's anything you can't handle. Give us a shout when you're ready, and I'll lay it out for you. Party Finder unlocked. I don't know what that means. Alright, Bateron has information on a new task. Ready to hear about that job then? Like I said, the request come from our sister guild in Gridania, and that's all I know. But whatever it is you get asked to do, I somehow doubt it'll pose any trouble for an adventurer to survive to the bedlam of Sastasha. If you think you might be interested, you'll want to have a words with Mother Mione, me counterpart in Gridania. Good luck, lass. All right. So we're off to Gridania, kind of. We are also level 22, which means we can start another Arcanist quest. All right. Acting Guildmaster Thubirheim appears unusually distressed. What can we get for this? A mask, much needed. Yeah, upgrade the mask probably. Yeah, level 10 to level 20. Big change. All right, cool. Accept. Greetings, Julia. In case such doubts fill your mind, you should know that I am ever willing to lend an ear if you find your thoughts troubled. At the very least, I would have you know this, because it seems that Kalia does not. The Foreseer has been missing since this morning. There have been other times when she has disappeared without a word, but we have always been able to find her. Alas, that is not the case this day. Were the guildmaster here, he could deduce her whereabouts with nary a moment's concentration. I find myself beginning to wonder if those who devote themselves overmuch to Arcanima are more prone to bouts of wanderlust. But while I might wish to ponder further such oddities of character, we must needs organize a search party. Would you be so kind to make inquiries in Hawker's Alley? It's not uncommon for Kylia's wanderings to take a path through the markets. Okay, let's go find this cat. Dodo-san. You seek a Mikote agent of Miel Van Skate? Why, yes, I have seen her. Spoke with her. In fact, she was, however, apprehended by the Yellow Jackets. The assessor was drilling me for details about a Kikaran smuggling ring based in Ailport, but then the soldiers arrived and took her away. If you wish to know her fate, then I suggest you speak with Gennade of the Coral Tower. Oh, those rats. They took her. No. Marauders Guild. All right. How do you blacklist them? They all have the same thing. How weird. What a weird thing. Foreseer Kylia? Yes, we brought her in for questioning regarding the reappearance of the pirate Dozmaga. Oh, it's Dark Maga. It's Elon. I can't believe it. A member of the Arcanist Guild, are you? Then I see no reason to conceal the nature of our discourse. Perhaps you are already aware of this, but the Foreseer was once held captive by that rabid sea dog. Few pirates sink to such depths of depravity as Dozmaga. It has been 6 years now since he was exiled from Limsa Lomenza for engaging in the worst kind of black market trading. And now the villain has returned. He is, however, both cunning and cautious, and continues to evade our troops. Thus we hoped to borrow the knowledge of Foreseer Kylia, whose experience have given her an intimate familiarity with the way the scoundrel operates. At least that was our intent. After weathering a barrage of questions from the assessor, we found ourselves instead providing the details of our search. Should you wish to speak with Foreseer Kylia, I imagine she has already returned safely to your guild. You're joking me. Back to there. Back. How Back already? You were led to believe she had returned here? I'm afraid not. So the Yellow Jackets told you something of her history with Dozmaga, did they? Perhaps it would be best if I told you the entire tale. Dozmaga's banishment was the result of a surprise inspection that revealed his involvement in an underground slave trade. The assessor that stepped aboard the pirate's merchant ship spoke of finding dozens of unwashed unfortunates crammed into that squalid hold. Among these prisoners was a young Mikote, destined for some black market auction block. Though Kalia was initially too terrified to even speak, the guildmaster brought her out of her fearful gaze with the gift of an initiate's grimoire. Yes, the self-same tome that she has carried her entire career. Of course. Did you not mention that Kalia's grimoire was thrown into the sea? There are rumors of Kikarn merchant of ill repute that has retrieved the black market's goods of the crews of the Morningstar had heaved into the ocean. Even now he gloats over his salt-encrusted ketch and ale part. It is entirely possible that the Foreseer's most prized possession was caught up in the Kikarn salvage nest, and I've no doubt now that Kalia has reached the same conclusion. To Aleport with you, Julia. That is where you will find our wayward assessor. Fisherman's. Wrong way. The ferry skipper. To Aleport. All right. Over here. Found you. Yes. Combat pattern 256 should serve to cover all expected contingencies. You never know when you have to nullify a thaumaturge or two. My retrieval strategy is complete. Julia, it is good of you to come. I was unable to calculate for certain if you would piece together my movements in time. Very little is certain when so many variables are involved. But there is good news. The prisoner here was kind enough to confirm that the trader who salvaged the Morningstar's jettisoned cargo did indeed retrieve a tome matching the description of my lost grimoire. Lamin's law and the policies of Malvinsgate would support the confiscation of goods connected to an official inspection, but alas, my personal belongings do not fall under that definition. Thus I intend to launch an unofficial offensive against this black marketeer and his cronies. The peddler has already departed for the Candlekeep Quay. It is time I gathered to me such allies as I possessed, and I count you as one of them, Julia. Despite the nature of this endeavor, Mistress Thubergeim has offered me her cooperation. If you would, pray join her at Ashan's embrace. That is where we shall ambush this disreputable Kikarn. Travel to the dry docks. How do we get out of here? This way? Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and kill this little doggy. We should be able to get this done quickly. Alright, so that should be 3 fates. I just need 2 more. Alright, here we go. Greetings, Julia. Your arrival completes our small company. You are equipped for battle, I trust. We need not await for Kalia's arrival. Once the Cocoon appears on the bridge, we will spring our ambush. The strategy for trapping our target relies on the 2 allies we have concealed on the other side of the ravine. This pincer maneuver was naturally the Foreseer's idea. As for the target himself, the Cocoon is known as a careful and cautious fellow. He travels with a small retinue as to avoid attracting attention. But do not be fooled. More bodyguards follow at a distance and will likely join the fray after the hostilities ensue. Do not, however, expect any assistance from the Yellow Jackets. They cannot be seen abiding us in what amounts to a personal matter, but they are willing to turn a blind eye for Kalia's sake. In any case, the Foreseer's tactic account for our limited numbers and individual strengths. Victory is all but assured. Now, let us take up our positions and wait for the Cocoon to arrive. We're gonna pinch them. They're gonna get pinched. Filthy ambushers. They want Kikaroon Sparklies. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna pinch them here. Bam. 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 Okay. It's the Mamulja? Okay. Ruby Ruin. I am doing a lot of damage. And then we whack them. Is that it? That appears to be the last of them. Now, to find the Four Seers grimoire. There it is. We found it. We found it. We found it. We found it. It's sparkly. It's right there. I see it. It's sparkly. You obtain Kalia's grimoire. Is that the duty? Yes. Duty complete. Hell yeah, boy. Well executed, everyone. Were you able to retrieve my grimoire? Julia, pray hand over the tome. It's ruined. My wonderful grimoire is ruined. The probability of repairing this degree of damage is 0%. Even the most brilliant strategy cannot undo such ravages of seawater. I have never felt so defeated. I believe it is time I returned home. Leave her be. But how can I? He is right, Arsthoda. You must allow Kalia time to process the loss. And you have other matters to which you must attend. Come, Julia. It is time we return to the guild as well. Pray return. To the Arcanist Guild. Not quite the victory we imagined, was it? The moment Kalia beheld her soaked and tattered grimoire, you could see the light of hope die in her eyes. There is, however, something we can do. I will call upon your aid soon, but in the meantime, you would be well served to deepen your knowledge of Arcanima. Oh, sorry. Hey, that's pretty cool. We got a new book, too. A mask and a book. Cool. Alright, let's go to Gridania. Here's a chocobo porter. Lady Saudi. Take a seat, wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come take your... Oh, not here to dine? Dare I hope you're the adventurer Baderon sent word about. You are? The matron be praised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mione, and the Carline Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in hand, there is a fair bit to tell you. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I shall brief you. Mione is waiting to brief you on your task. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and short of it. Beg pardons for interrupting, Mione, but our needs grow. Our need grows ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward? And good morrow to you, bow lord. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is, your journey hasn't been wasted. I am pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name is Lewin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. The place was once a Gelmoran settlement, but we Riganians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking about the Deepcroft with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, we would have dispatched our best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at our disposal are constantly required to keep the Ixal at bay. The Birdmen, Ixal must be another beast tribe, I'm assuming. The Birdmen have grown restless at late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have compelled or spread our forces throughout the Twelveswood, lest we be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamud. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? Nod. You have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. He will apprise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. Dog, I wish Baderon spoke like that. I feel like the first 20 levels of doing these quests and having to speak to Baderon, he'd like, you hear I'm talking in all of the slang and stuff, and I'm not finishing any of my words. La-di-da-bop-bop. All right. A fate? Oh. Mushrooms. Oh, that should be pretty simple. Where's the rest of the mushrooms? There's one. There's one. If we could get more than 2 of these things to spawn at one time, that would be great. Curious to see how many more we have left. We're close. This might be the last one we need. A date with destiny. Successfully complete 10 fates. Alright, there appears to be an aetheryte here, so I'm definitely going to go click that first. Can I get through here? Alright. Logs, challenge log. One more fate. Are there any fates gonna be on the way? Bleeding green. We can go do that one real quick. On our way. Alright, so down there appears to be where I need to go. But there's a fate boss over here that I would love to finish. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, we popped off quick, didn't we? We have done a lot of damage to this boss and not a lot of time. Thank you very much. That was a lot of experience. Very close to 23. It's our adventure funners. All right, God's Quiver Bow. You're Julia Capicola, I take it. Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bowlord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it from the lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the Calamity put an end to the Sixth Astral Era. The cultists took the Lesser Moon Dalamud for their god, believing that it would deliver them from devastation. And so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, having seen their god turn to ash, one would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fanaticism. The Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say, everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is, they're doing it in Deepcroft. And you may be sure that no good will come of it. For the sake of Gridania and Eorzea at large, put an end to their madness. Nine minutes. No, I'm doing it with people. People it is. Let's figure out what our carbuncle's doing. Alright, so when we cast Aether Charge, it increases the potency of Ruin, Ruin 2, Ruin 3 by 50, and Outburst by 20. Additional effects. Grants Ruby, Topaz, and Emerald Arcanum. Can only be executed in combat and while carbuncle. So we summon the carbuncle to our side. This summons Emerald and orders it to execute Glittering Emerald. Deals wind damage with a potency of 400. Grants 4 stacks of Wind Attunement. Wind Attunement effect. Gemstride and Precious Brilliance become wind aspect. Okay. This lasts for 30 seconds. Can only be executed while under the effect of Emerald Arcanum and Carbuncle is summoned. Current pet will leave the battlefield once the Emerald Carbuncle is present and return once gone. And then Topaz orders it, rushes target and deals damage. Earth damage 400, 4 stacks. Becomes Earth aspected. And then this grants 2 stacks of fire attunement. Bam, bam, bam. What's the other one? Precious Brilliance. Oh, that was quick. Precious Brilliance is the AoE. Got it. All right, Tam-Tara. Ooh. This person is going quickly. All right. I can't wait to be a healer. I think I'm gonna go scholar. Kill it. Are we broken a tie? Yeah, I feel like playing with players is, if you can get a quick queue, it's just much quicker. I mean, I don't know how you could argue against it. It's like he's chain pulling. He or she are chain pulling. And you're not going to get that with an NPC. You're going to have to do one at a time. One at a time. Alright, the soul counter is going down. There's definitely things in here that I could use. That's not one of them. That is definitely one of them. I want the earrings. We're gonna whack them down. A rosary. Oh, they were strength. I didn't even realize. Now I feel dumb. Octavel, the Unforgiving. Now there's 2 more of these, so we gotta like click one, right? He's dead. All right, what's this? Who summons me from the void to reside within this cruel vessel? Cthulhu. Kill the imp. Guys, we have to kill the imps. Otherwise, he's never gonna die. We did it. Accommodations. Never mind. Enter the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. Alrighty. We did it, Mione. We cleared the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. Welcome back, Julia. I am reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success, nor did I expect anything less. Beteron's ringing endorsement left me in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Lord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must admit, it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. Ah, as if to illustrate the point. Avir's gone, and it's all your fault. If you hadn't taken an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. Yeah, I'm pretty experienced with that, playing World of Warcraft. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We shouldn't have done more to lighten his burden. Bah, to hell with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I've only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel as this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. This is like the breakup of every guild. Oh, and by way of some parting advice, get rid of Avir's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hell you like with it. But for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, all right? Wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm so sorry, Avir. Please forgive me. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes a dozen times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventures of your experience. I can send women like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much, at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word, and I will be glad to share the details with you. Okay. That's where we're going to leave off. We did 2 dungeons tonight, and we have progressed the story some, and it appears we're going to go over to Ul'dah and do another dungeon for the next part. And we found that there are fishbacks, Sahagin in the in Sastasha, and we were able to clear out the reason for all of the weird dead people walking around the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. So it's been good. I think we're kind of unpeeling more layers of the onion of the underlying tensions that seem to be bubbling. And I feel like the story is about to get a lot more interesting as we continue on our journey. So thank you for watching. Do the YouTube-y things, like, subscribe if you like, leave some comments, questions, etc., whatever you would like, and stay cool, stay chill, and have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching. Bye.